It was a typical Monday at Lincoln Middle School in Charleston, South Carolina. The dogwood blossoms were just beginning to appear, student conversations filled the hallways, and a faint scent of cleaning solution lingered from the weekends. Maintenance. For 13-year-old Samantha Green, however, this day loomed like an approaching thunderstorm. The first swim class of the semester had arrived, something she'd been anxiously anticipating since spotting the announcement on the gymnasium bulletin board the previous week. Swimming itself wasn't what worried her. She'd mastered that years earlier in her grandmother's Savannah swimming pool. Her father, kind, encouraging, and always ready with a joke, had taught her everything about floating, flipping, and deep breathing techniques. But since his passing 2 years ago, Samantha hadn't ventured near water again. Her real fear wasn't drowning, it was being seen. She was self-conscious about her fuller figure, her thighs that touched, and arms she preferred to keep covered. She moved through school corridors with hunched shoulders, trying to minimize her presence. With pale skin and dull blonde hair habitually pulled into a hasty ponytail, she was still adjusting to Lincoln Middle, having transferred only 3 weeks earlier. Though friendless, she'd already attracted enemies, specifically Brady Miller, Tanner Hall, and Jace Cunningham. These 8th-grade elites, sons of local police officers, coaches, and municipal contractors, dominated the social hierarchy with their loud personalities and athletic prowess. They controlled the school's social dynamics and needed no reason to harass others, just vulnerable targets. That morning, Samantha clutched her towel tightly against herself as she exited the girls' locker room into the humid pool area. Her navy one-piece suit was modest but uncomfortably snug in places that made her self-conscious. She hurried toward the benches, hoping to avoid attention, but the boys were waiting. Near the lifeguard station, Brady nudged Jace and nodded in her direction. "Well, look who showed up," he announced loudly. "Ready for the tsunami?" Before Samantha could react, Brady lunged forward and yanked her towel away. She gasped, instinctively crossing her arms to cover herself. She stood frozen, exposed in her swimsuit, completely vulnerable. The trio erupted with laughter. "Whoa!" Tanner exclaimed, dramatically clutching his chest. "Better warn the lifeguards. This wave might flood the entire gymnasium. Someone call? FEMA! We've got a body mass emergency!" Jace howled. Their mockery echoed throughout the pool area. Some students nervously giggled, others averted their eyes, but most remained silent. Shame enveloped the space. Samantha stood paralyzed, her cheeks burning. Her legs wanted to flee, but her mind couldn't coordinate movement. Her fingers dug into her sides as she desperately wished to disappear. Brady dangled the towel tauntingly. "Want it back?" he mocked. "You'll have to earn it, blimp." Their taunting abruptly stopped, not because of teacher intervention or a lifeguard, but because of a calm, steady voice that simply stated, "Give it back." Every head turned. Standing at the locker room entrance was Kaya Thompson. Tall for a 13-year-old, she carried herself with a quiet dignity that commanded respect without demanding attention. Her rich brown skin glowed under the ceiling lights. Already wearing her swim cap with goggles in hand, her expression remained composed, but her eyes fixed on Brady with laser-like intensity. Brady blinked. "Excuse me?" I said. Kaya repeated. "Give her towel back." Jace laughed. "What? You her? Bodyguard now?" "No," Kaya replied, taking several steps forward, her voice still even. "But I've seen enough cowards for one morning." Her words struck like a physical blow. Brady's smirk faltered as he squared his shoulders. "Why don't you mind your own business?" "I am," Kaya answered. "Because when someone thinks this behavior is acceptable at my school, it becomes my business." A small crowd had gathered, some whispering, others watching intently. Coach Lombardi, the swim instructor, finally emerged from her office with clipboard in hand, confused by the tension. "What's happening here?" she inquired, surveying the students. "Nothing," Brady quickly responded, tossing the towel onto a bench. "Just having some fun." Kaya retrieved it and handed it to Samantha with a simple nod. "Thank you," Samantha whispered, her voice breaking. Kaya turned back toward the boys. "Let's race," she challenged. The room fell silent. Brady raised an eyebrow. "What? You think you're fast?" Kaya asked. "Prove it. 1-on-1. You choose the stroke. Any distance. Right here. Right now." Tanner snorted incredulously. "You're challenging. Brady Miller. Got a death wish? Just tired of watching people act tough while targeting girls half their size." Coach Lombardi blinked. "Is this serious?" Kaya turned to her. "We have 25 minutes left in class. Let the pool decide." Brady shrugged. "Fine, you're on." Students rushed to the bleachers. News traveled quickly. Phones appeared. Coach Lombardi set down her clipboard. 50-meter freestyle, she announced. Both swimmers to the starting blocks. Brady climbed onto his platform with exaggerated confidence, stretching and rolling his shoulders. "Don't cry when you lose, princess." Kaya didn't respond. She mounted her platform, crouching low with goggles in place. Her posture was impeccable, her arms steady. Across the pool, Samantha clutched her towel, trembling. Not from fear this time, but anticipation. Brady theatrically adjusted his Apple Watch Ultra 2, examining the display as if checking mission-critical data. The custom Nike band wrapped snugly around his wrist, water-resistant and gleaming under the fluorescent lighting. He made a show of setting the timer professionally, ignoring the tension permeating the room. Accustomed to being perceived as superior, his swim shorts were the latest Speedo Fast Skin model. Graphite with red accents, obviously brand new and likely purchased purely for status. Approaching the block's edge, he shot one final smirk at Kaya, challenging her to reconsider. Kaya stood quietly on her block. No flashy technology or accessories. Her equipment was basic. A black competition suit, tear goggles with mirrored lenses, and a cap bearing only her first name in hand-stitched white letters. She wasn't showing off. She didn't need to. Her entire demeanor communicated. "This isn't a game." Coach Lombardi raised her whistle. 50-meter freestyle. When I blow the whistle, you go. Ready positions. The pool area fell silent. Spectators raised their phones. "At least 4 students are recording," one boy whispered. "Bet this hits TikTok before 5th period." Euthiophrasium. Front row. Jace held his iPhone 15 Pro Max in landscape orientation, whispering to Tanner, "If she belly flops, I'm posting it in slow motion." Samantha sat further back, still holding her towel tightly. Though pale-faced, her eyes tracked Kaya's every movement. Something inside her was transforming, her shame gradually evaporating, replaced by admiration. The whistle pierced the air. Brady launched forward with a splash that disrupted 3 lanes. His technique was powerful, but inefficient. Strokes, aggressive, kicking vigorously, churning water behind him like a motorboat. His arm muscles worked overtime to maintain appearances, his breathing rapid and labored, teeth clenched in concentration. Kaya entered the water half a second later, but her approach was entirely different. She glided effortlessly, each stroke measured and efficient, her arms cutting cleanly through the water, her legs steady and smooth. Rather than fighting against the water, she worked with it. In that moment, she wasn't competing against Brady. She was harmonizing with the current. By the 20-meter mark, Brady maintained a slight lead. Cheers arose for both swimmers. Some called his name while others held their breath. He pushed harder, exceeding his typical rhythm, but at 30 meters, his pace began faltering. Kaya's speed remained constant, her turn flawless. She emerged from the underwater tumble like a blade, gaining with every pull. Brady sensed her proximity. His eyes darted sideways and panic set in. He fumbled a stroke, costing him half a body length. The final 10 meters passed in a blur, 2 figures racing through silence. Then came the sound of hands meeting the wall tiles. The timer beeped. Coach checked her stopwatch. Kaya, 28.2. Brady, 31.7. The pool area froze momentarily before erupting in gasps and murmurs. Someone exclaimed, "No way." Another commented, "She completely smoked him." Jace's phone dipped slightly as he blinked in disbelief. Samantha exhaled audibly, her heart pounding with amazement. Brady clung to the pool edge, breathing heavily. He remained motionless for several seconds. His chest heaved, not merely from exertion, but from the disbelief spreading across his face. His jaw tightened before he angrily slapped the water. "You started early," he growled. "That wasn't fair." Coach Lombardi shook her head. "I was watching both blocks. The start was clean." "You flinched," he hissed at Kaya, who was calmly exiting. "The pool. I won," she stated, standing upright as water droplets traced her arms. "Accept it." Brady stormed past her, snatching his towel from Tanner's outstretched hand. "Whatever. This was just a fluke." But the crowd clearly disagreed. Groups of students were already discussing the race, some laughing, others regarding Kaya as if seeing her for the first time. Her composed confidence radiated more powerfully than any speech could have. As Coach called the next group, Kaya returned to her bench, retrieved her gym bag, and silently offered Samantha a spare towel, thicker cotton, with small embroidered initials, KT, near the edge. Samantha stared at it. You carry an extra?" "Always," Kaya replied kindly. "You never know who might need one." Samantha hesitated. "Thank you." Her voice cracked again, but now from gratitude. "You didn't have to do that. You didn't even know me." Kaya met her gaze. "I knew enough." Across the pool, Tanner scrolled through video footage on his phone. "Bro, it's already got 600 views on Snap." Jace leaned closer. "She's going to become a meme. This is insane." But they no longer sounded amused. Now they sounded nervous. By lunchtime, the video had appeared in numerous group chats and a private school subreddit. Caption: "Brady gets schooled by the quiet girl." Someone added a gif of Kaya's flip turn with fire emojis. Another edited in the words, "She came to swim. You came to sink." In the cafeteria, Brady sat with arms crossed, AirPods Pro in his ears but playing no music. Every laugh across the room made him flinch slightly. For once, his friends didn't rally around him. Not even Jace or Tanner. They were occupied with their screens, pretending not to notice the replays. Across the room, Kaya shared a small table with Samantha. They shared fries while laughing quietly as Kaya showed her something on her Galaxy Z Flip 5, its holographic case sparkling under the lights. Nothing flashy, just authentic. "Have you ever been on a swim team?" Samantha asked. "Used to be in Atlanta," Kaya replied, dipping a fry in ketchup. "Had to quit when we relocated here. But once you learn to move through water, it stays in your bones." "I think I want to learn," Samantha said. "Really learn." Kaya smiled, not boastfully, just warmly. "Then let's get started." As the lunch bell rang and students filed out, whispers now followed Kaya, but not doubtful ones. They were respectful. The girl who had remained silent for weeks had just altered the school's social dynamics without raising her voice, without seeking attention, and without waiting for permission. And this time, no one would dare touch her towel again. The subsequent days felt noticeably different, almost surreally so. For the first time since transferring to Lincoln Middle School, Samantha didn't feel invisible or ridiculed. Walking down the hallway Tuesday morning with her backpack secure and shoulders more square than usual, heads turned for a new reason. Several students acknowledged her. One girl even whispered, "You were so brave," before disappearing into a classroom. Brave wasn't a word Samantha had ever connected with herself until now. Kaya, meanwhile, maintained her unwavering composure, except the silence surrounding her was no longer filled with indifference. It was reverential. Students gave her space out of quiet respect rather than avoidance. Even teachers regarded her differently, one even asking if she'd consider joining the school swim team for upcoming district qualifiers. Kaya simply shrugged and said, "I'll consider it." But her expression revealed more. She was already planning several steps ahead. During gym class, Coach Lombardi pulled both girls aside, clipboard in hand, the chlorine scent still clinging to her whistle. "The school board wants to speak with you both," she said. They saw the video. They're impressed. Honestly, I am too. That was excellent form, Kaya. Damn good. The expletive slipped out before she caught herself. Kaya just smiled. Thanks, Coach. And Samantha, the coach added, I know what happened that morning. I should have noticed, should have intervened. Samantha remained silent momentarily, then nodded slowly. I think it's being addressed. Indeed, things were being addressed. Though not through detentions or parental calls, the response was more subtle. Social consequences often cut deeper than administrative punishments. Brady, once the loudest voice in any room, had become nearly silent. He still traversed the hallways and sat with Jace and Tanner, but the dynamic had shifted. Whispers now followed him not from admiration, but because everyone had witnessed him lose more than just a race. He lost status. Rumors circulated that his father had attempted to have the video removed. Too late. It had spread everywhere. TikTok, Reddit, even Instagram reels with dramatic Rocky theme music overlays. The most viral edit displayed Kaya diving in slow motion, freeze-framing as the words, "Grace Under Fire," appeared in gold lettering. One user commented, "This girl has Olympic potential. Give her the torch." Another wrote, "That towel wasn't the only thing dropped." Brady's ego hit the floor, too. Samantha read every comment wide-eyed, amazed that her moment of humiliation had transformed into someone else's inspiration. By Thursday, a student assembly was announced, organized partly by student council but clearly influenced by faculty attempting to shift from scandal to message. The auditorium was filled. Teachers, students, even some parents waiting beneath dimmed lights. A banner behind the podium proclaimed, "Respect, resilience, and responsibility." Principal Dawson, broad-shouldered with a voice reminiscent of Sunday, sermons welcomed everyone solemnly. He thanked Kaya and Samantha by name, then invited them on stage. Samantha hesitated behind the curtain, clutching her sleeve hem. Kaya gently touched her arm. "Are you okay?" "I've never addressed such a large audience," Samantha whispered. Kaya's voice remained calm. "You already spoke, Sam. That day at the pool. You spoke by standing your ground. Now you just need to add words." Samantha inhaled deeply, then nodded. They stepped onto the stage together. Silence fell over the crowd. Phones raised. Camera flashes blinked. Principal Dawson handed Samantha the microphone first. Her hand trembled slightly as she adjusted its height. Hello?" she began, her voice unsteady. "Some of you witnessed what happened during swim class. Some saw more than I ever wanted anyone to see." Nervous laughter rippled through the audience. She took a breath and continued, but someone stepped forward. Not a teacher, not a lifeguard, just someone who decided the situation wasn't acceptable. Because of her, I learned that silence doesn't protect you. It only imprisons you. And kindness isn't weakness. It's choosing the difficult path when looking away would be easier. She paused. "I'm no longer ashamed. I'm proud of who I am, and who stood beside me." She turned slightly, passing the microphone to Kaya. Kaya maintained her composure, neither shifting weight nor adjusting the microphone. She gazed steadily outward. "I didn't intervene because I wanted attention," she began. "I did it because I've experienced similar treatment. When someone humiliates you, you feel diminished, helpless, but nobody should experience those feelings. At school, especially not because of appearance, clothing, or weight." She glanced toward Brady's section of the auditorium. "We all make mistakes. What matters is how we respond afterward." The room grew completely still. You could hear a phone vibrate inside someone's bag. Kaya returned her gaze to the audience. "That's all I have to say." The applause didn't erupt immediately. It grew gradually, starting as scattered claps, then swelling into a standing ovation. Teachers rose. Students cheered. Even Principal Dawson applauded, his eyes reflecting something resembling pride. By Friday, everything had transformed. The swim coach formally invited Kaya to represent Lincoln at district competitions. Samantha requested to become team assistant. They practiced together mornings, Samantha working on laps, breathing techniques, and flip turns while Kaya instructed. Her on drills timed her performance and offered encouragement. In the locker room, girls who previously mocked Samantha behind her back now inquired about her stroke techniques, preferred goggles, even what playlists she listened to while training. She finally admitted it was primarily Taylor Swift with some SFO. Kaya maintained her steadiness. The attention didn't affect her. She still sat near windows during English class and carried her Kindle instead of a phone through hallways. But there was a subtle confidence in how she carried her bag now, how she addressed teachers, how she no longer flinched under stares. At home, Samantha dined with her mother, who had seen the video. She hadn't commented much initially, just watched silently before discreetly wiping away a tear. That evening, she reached across the table, took Samantha's hand, and said simply, "I've never felt prouder." Samantha's throat tightened, but she managed to smile. "Neither have I." Kaya didn't immediately tell her parents. She didn't need to. Her mother, a nurse, left encouraging sticky notes on their refrigerator. "You stood up. That matters. Your strength lies in your composure. We see you." Her father, a carpenter, crafted a wooden plaque for her bedroom wall inscribed with, "Let them underestimate you. That's where your fire comes from." A week later came the final swim meet. Kaya swam the anchor position. Samantha cheered from poolside, stopwatch in hand, clipboard on her knee. When Kaya dove in, the pool quieted again. Not from surprise this time, but reverence. When she touched the wall first in her heat, the audience rose, and in that moment, neither girl resembled who they'd been just 30 minutes after that towel had been snatched away. They were stronger, and so was their school.